Well, good morning. This is Dan Macon at Flying Mule Farm with another installment of 52 Weeks of Sheep. And this is our equivalent of New Year's Eve today. Today we will sort the ewes into breeding groups, and tomorrow, on the New Year's Day of the sheep year, we will turn the rams in with the ewes and start the whole cycle over again. Much like the change of the real year, this day is exciting for me all the time, every year. Because it represents a new beginning and a new cycle of work in raising sheep. So I'll walk you through kind of what all is entailed in this day and in these couple of days here over the next couple of minutes. And Happy New Year! So fall is probably my favorite time of year. I love when it cools off like this and we start getting some weather. Sunlight hours are a little shorter, which is nice. I think that's nature's way of telling us to sleep in a little bit if we can. But I also get excited about what's to come after fall, and I think that's one of the reasons I like the season. And as a sheep rancher, what comes after fall are spring lambs. And so the work that we're going to do over these next 2 days is really an anticipation of the gift of new life next spring. So it really is my favorite time of year. We split our sheep into 2 different breeding groups at this time of year. The first group, whiteface Cheviot-based ewes, are usually crossed with blueface Leicester rams. Every 3rd year we cross these back on North Country Cheviot rams to get our replacement whiteface ewes. We then breed the mules, those crossbred ewes, with Shropshire bucks to make a terminal outcross. And we have a small registered Shropshire flock as well. Before breeding, we check the teeth and udders of all the sheep and make sure they're sound for the coming year, and then we turn the rams out. About a month before we turn the rams in with the ewes, we try to put the rams in close proximity to where the ewes are grazing, which will help synchronize the ewes' estrus cycles, which shortens our lambing window in a couple of months. So this morning, the first chore is to go over to the property where we've had the rams grazing and pick them up, get them separated into groups and ready to turn out. So to me, one of the things that's different about raising cattle and raising sheep is that I think there's less overlap in the phases of production with sheep. And by that I mean the phases are distinct. You know, with cattle, you've got 85 days after a calf is born to get the cow back in shape to breed. And with sheep, because the gestation period is shorter, about 5 months, and because we typically wean lambs within a couple of months of when they're born, we have real distinct phases. And so breeding season seems like more of an event for me with sheep than it ever has with cattle. I don't have as much experience with cattle, but because of the separation between different times of the production year with sheep, this day seems like a much bigger deal, I think, than turning the bulls in, at least for me. I suspect it's a pretty exciting day for the rams, too. So, Roger, what day is this?
Today is September 30th, day 1 of breeding season. We just put the rams in this morning.
And is this like a big deal? Does this feel like a big day?
Yeah, it is. It's the start of the new year, essentially, because now, 5 months from now, roughly, we will start to have lambs on the ground, or probably by the 3rd week of February. And if we're like last year, maybe we'll be done in less than 4 weeks with our lambing.
And how do we know that the rams are actually interested in their job?
Well, we just pulled 2 rams off of the trailer and put them in with the ewes while they were still kind of outside the fence, and we already have witnessed and have video proof of mounting occurring. And we also drove another group over to another place, and there was mounting on the way over. So I think we have accomplished getting the ewes cycling. We flushed starting at end of August we've flushed now for probably 30 some odd days, and we have a couple more weeks to go, and that means we're giving them some oat screenings, which is a little bit of an extra energy and a little bit of protein boost to help them be on a rising plane of nutrition and produce hopefully more embryos so we can get more lambs per ewe, which is a big driver of profitability in our operation.
Awesome. And one last thing just to mark this year in time. How are the Giants doing this year?
Well, luckily the season is over on Sunday, and the big thing will be, are they going to lose 100 games or not lose 100 games? So I'm not sure what the score was last night, but they've got to get one more win if they're not going to lose 100 games. And today is the last game Matt Cain will pitch in his 13-year career.
So I think we'll both be listening or watching the game, won't
Yeah,
we?
I hope he wins.
I do too.
Good. He's been a great asset for the Giants.
And they won last night, so we're not going to lose 100
so they won.
games.
So they're not going to lose 100. I'm not really sure what that means, but whether you lose 97, 98, or 99.
All right, thank you.
You bet.
Well, breeding season is a transition for us. We'll continue to do a few things that we've been doing. We'll keep flushing the ewes for another 2 weeks. After that, they don't need quite the nutritional intake, so we'll quit feeding grain in about 2 weeks. And our irrigation water will also shut off in about 2 weeks. And so our chores will become less time consuming through the fall, which is kind of nice. But we're also looking forward to what will come next spring. So thanks for joining us at 52 Weeks of Sheep, and we'll see you next week.